Hello lovely families, welcome back to my channel. It feels good to be here. Hope you all are doing well. Thanks for clicking on today's video. Today on the menu is this finger licking affordable Nigerian water leaf soup. This soup is so easy to make. Your families, friends, even your enemies if you have any, they are gonna be hooked after eating this. So stay tuned, grab your pot, let's get started. In a pot, I added in some meat. This is beef feet. You can use any protein of your choice. Next, I went in with some stockfish, a pinch of salt, Maggi powder. I added in some blended pepper mix, add some water, give this a very nice stir, cover and allow to cook for like 80 to 85%. This soup goes super fast. This is one among the recipes you should add in your lazy day menu. Once your vegetables are prepped, trust me, the soup will be ready in less than 7 minutes. So while the meat are cooking, let's go ahead and plug the water leaves, which is the star of this recipe. So after plugging them, I added them into a bowl, added some salt, and I washed nicely. So once that is done, I added the leaves in a strainer just to extract or drain excess water. And here is the end result of the water leaves. So I'm going to add the chopped water leaves in a bowl. I'm going to use my hands and squeeze the excess sliminess. That way your soup will not be too watery. Okay, so just watch and see what I'm doing. This part is self-explanatory. Okay, so yeah. Once you are done squeezing the water leaves, set them aside for later use. I want to use this medium to say a very big thank you to my old subscribers. Thank you for staying with me throughout this channel. I don't take your love for granted. And to my new subscribers that are just joining my family, you are highly welcome. Thank you for becoming part of this family. Please, after watching this video, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe. It is totally free. Turn on the notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we upload a new video. Thank you. So at this point, our proteins are like 80 to 85%. So I went in with some blended pepper, some crayfish. I'm going to add some palm oil at this point. Some Maggi powder. Give this a quick mix. And I added in some smoked fish. I'm going to cover it again so that the sauce will soak all the flavors from the fish. Cover and allow to cook for like 10 to 11 minutes thereabouts. So yeah. Came back and I added in the squeezed water leaf. So I'm just going to push the leaves aside just to spread it around the pot. So at this point, once you add it, do not stir it or else your soup is gonna be too watery. So after 2 minutes, I'm going to stir it, and at this point the aroma in my kitchen was absolutely divine. Guys, you need to give this recipe a try. This water leaf soup is so cheap. Trust me, you can make this on a low budget and your family will love it. So after stirring it, go ahead and test for salt. Turn off your heat and your water leaf soup is as good as ready. Let me know in the comment section what kind of fufu are you gonna pair this soup with. This soup is the easiest among all Nigerian soups. It's ideal for nursing moms, and anyone can enjoy this soup as well. Let me share with you how I made this with just few ingredients. In a pot, add any meat of your choice. I'm using turkey. Next, go in with some blended pepper, a pinch of salt, onions, and some Maggi powder. Stir this and allow to steam for like 30 to 35 minutes on low heat. I know some of you will attack me on the comment section because of these onions. See, do not judge a book by its cover. Try it before complaining. I don't even know who came up with the idea of not adding onions in your salad soup. Like, I'm going to break that protocol, okay? But you see that onions, just leave that onions in that pot for me. Like I said, try it before complaining, okay? That 5 minutes after, I added some nicely washed beef tripes. Next, go in with some water to form the base. Add some white yams. I already washed the yams, just cut into tiny cubes. That way the yams are gonna cook super fast. And these yams are gonna serve as the thickener or cook until they're super soft. Over here are the spices. I've got some crayfish, hot pepper, uziza seed, and some other seed. Pound or blend into a paste. Set that aside for later use. After some minutes, I went back to check on the pot, and at this point in time, the yams are tender. Once a fork, skewer, or a knife goes freely into your yam, that is an indication of a perfect soft yam. So I'm going to take the yams out from the pot. So make sure you check your pot very well, because sometimes some stubborn cubes or some stubborn yams can hide underneath the pot, okay? You don't want to see that chunk of yam in your Insala soup. So add the yams in a blender or into a mortar to form a smooth paste. Make sure you pound or blend it when they are super hot. Cover the pot and continue cooking until the meat are super tender. After 3 minutes, add the blended yams. Note, this soup thickens more when it gets cold, so be mindful of the quantity of yam paste that is going into it, okay? Next, you are going to add your blended spices. Add some salt, Maggi powder. Stir this up and allow to cook for 5 to 7 minutes. While that is boiling, let's chop some fresh scent leaves. There's no Insala soup without scent leaf. Like, the leaf is gonna elevate the taste and the aroma of this recipe. These leaves are so medicinal. So contact me if you need any fresh African vegetable ranging from ugu, bitter leaves, water leaf, ewedu, scent leaf, like name it. DM me right now, and yeah. 6 minutes into the cooking, at this point, the aroma in your kitchen should be sending signal to your neighbors. So fragrant, so aromatic. Next, add the scent leaf test to adjust seasoning. Let it cook for like 20 to 30 seconds thereabout because you don't want to overcook the vegetable. Over here is our fufu. It's ready as well. So yeah, this is the end result of our Insala soup. So basic and very delicious. Let me know what you think about this recipe. You will need some fresh ugu leaves, also known as fluted pumpkin, some fresh water leaves, scotch bonnet pepper. You can add more or less of the pepper depending on your heat tolerance, some crayfish, garden egg leaves, also known as akwukwo angara, some smoked fish, onions. Like onions plays a very good role in your vegetable soup, so you have to be generous with it. And I have some assorted meat. So the rest of the ingredients, as we cook, I will introduce them to you, but however, I'm going to list all the ingredients on the description box as well. So to begin, in a pot, I added in the assorted meat that I already washed. Next, I went in with some chopped purple onions, Maggi powder, a pinch of salt, add some water. You can use any protein of your preference. It mustn't necessarily be the proteins that I'm using. I try to minimize the intake of red meat in my house. That is why you always see me using either fish, stockfish, or beef food for my recipes. But whichever meat you are using, make sure they are properly seasoned because you want to build flavor into the meat and the stock. Give it a quick stir, cover and allow to cook until the meat are like 95% cooked. While the meats are cooking, I'm going to prep all the vegetables, starting with the ugu or pumpkin leaves. This recipe goes super fast, so you have to make sure all your ingredients are ready before the meats are cooked. The freshness, the aroma of this ugu is giving me life. After plugging them, add them into a bowl, add some salt and wash them carefully. The salt is going to act as the sanitizer. So I went as far as taking out the rope or the strands out from the stem. This will make the cutting very easy, and once you bite on the stem, it will not be too hard for you to chew. So I'm going to slice them just like this. After that, I'll proceed to the next vegetable, which is the water leaf. I'll repeat the process as well. So I added in some salt into the water leaves as well. I'll wash and cut them. After cutting, pour them into a bowl. I'll use my hands to squeeze out the foams or the sliminess out from the water leaf. By so doing, your vegetable soup will not be too watery. So take out all the sliminess, squeeze them and set them aside for later use. So after slicing all the vegetables, here are the results. I'm going to set them aside for later use. Some hours later, I came back to check on the meat and they are nicely cooked. As you can see, the bones are already falling apart. I'm going to take the meat out from the stock and set them aside. In the same pot, add in the smoked fish. If you have any other smoked fish or if you are using periwinkle, add it at this point. Next, add in the crayfish and the pepper. I added just a little bit of water into the blender just to rinse it off. Next, add in your red palm oil. Give it a quick stir. Cover and allow the palm oil to cook for 10 minutes. This will help eliminate any bad taste from your palm oil. Some minutes into the cooking, I'm going to give the base a quick mix, and at this point my kitchen smells insanely delicious. Next, I'm going to add the first vegetable, starting with the water leaves. I will add some chopped pepper and some onions for more flavor and for more heat. Remember, this is vegetable soup, so adding the water leaf first will help infuse more moisture into this vegetable soup. You don't want your vegetable soup to be too dried, okay? After giving it a good mix, cover and allow to simmer for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes of letting the water leaf to boil, as you can see how creamy the soup is looking already. Next, I went in with the angara leaf, also known as garden egg leaves. Next, I added in the ugu leaf. These two vegetables have almost the same cooking time. So I added in the cooked meat. Some minutes later, I'm going to give it another final quick mix because you don't want this vegetable soup to be overcooked or else you will lose the health benefit. I'll finish it up with some crayfish. I'll add some Maggi powder, add some salt if necessary. Give it a quick mix, cover and allow to simmer, and your vegetable soup is as good as ready. You guys, the taste of this soup is going to wow your family. Please, if you have not tried this combination of 3 African vegetables on your vegetable soup, kindly give this recipe a try. Your family will definitely ask for more. Try out this recipe and be the judge for yourself. beef stripe, some sliced onions, Maggi powder, a pinch of salt. I'm going to add some water, give it a quick stir, cover and allow the meat to cook until they're like 80 to 85% cooked. You can use any protein of your choice as well. The meat has been cooking for some hours now and are 85% cooked. I'm going to give it a quick stir. I will separate the meat from the stock and set them aside for later use. The remaining 15% of the meat will cook as we move along. Add some palm oil in a clean dry pot, allow to heat up for a few seconds. Next, add some chopped onions and fry for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, add some pepper mixture, and these are a combination of 1 large red bell pepper, habanero pepper, some crayfish and onions. So fry until the watery taste from the bell peppers are out. After 3 minutes of frying the pepper mixture, I added in the cooked meat. Next, I added in some crayfish, the mixed stock. I'm going to give it a quick stir. I will test to adjust seasoning. So I needed to add more cube. I went in with some Maggi powder, a pinch of salt. So I'm going to let the remaining 15% of the meat to cook in the base. Over here is the star of the recipe, which is the okra. What I did was to slice the okras with a knife. You can use a grater to grate yours if that is how you want it. I added the okra in a pot. I'm going to steam fry for 2 minutes without adding water. After 2 minutes, I added in some spinach. You can use any vegetable of your choice. Stir once again, because the more you stir, the more slimy the okra becomes. After 30 seconds, take the okra out from the heat. Let's check back on the base, and at this point the meat are nicely cooked. I added in some steamed mushrooms, smoked tilapia fish. If you want to see the full recipe for the smoked tilapia I'll leave the link in the comment section. So cover and allow the base to come to a boil. Add the stir fry okra and mix. You guys, if you try out this recipe, you will bite your lips. So I added in more crayfish for more intense flavor. I'm going to partially cover it so that the okra will steam for just 30 seconds, because you don't want to overcook this recipe. Give it another beautiful stir, another quick stir, and your okra stew is as good as ready. Try out this recipe. Leave me your comment on the comment section. Let me know how it turns out for you. If you like this video, kindly share, comment down below and give me a like. See you all on my next recipe. Enjoy.